Hi and welcome to this webinar. We are so excited that you're here with us, and if you just bear with us a few seconds, because in a moment you're going to hear this hangout start in another window which will create an echo, and then I will go over and mute it. So just bear with us for 2 seconds and that's it, we've done that bit. There's always a very slight lag when you're doing a live Google Hangout between the time that we are talking here and the time that you see at your end. So there's between a 20 and 60 seconds lag. So if you put any questions in and we don't respond immediately, please don't worry about that because it's perfectly natural. I'm Dodsley, and as you can see underneath, I'm better known to a lot of people as the G Plus How To Girl, and in a moment I'm going to take you over and introduce you to a very special lady who's here with me, but we'll talk about her in just a second. Today, I just want to tell you what today is all about. Today is for you if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner and you want to know more about Google+, if you want to know the truth about Google+, what it really is, how it can really help you and your business. If you want to know how to use it for spammy stuff and the shortcuts and get rich quick, you're in the wrong place. Go and find somebody else, because we don't teach that stuff. We teach this is how you really use it. This is how you set it up. This is how you create authentic and really good foundations, as well as taking the next steps that will give you long-lasting results. So if you want the quick magic button, although we have a nice round circle on our profile pictures which says Gplus Professionals, you can't press that and become a millionaire tomorrow with what we're going to share with you. What you can do is create a very strong, very powerful presence on Google+ and learn how to use it in a way that will get you results, future-proof your business, rather than, it happened now. Okay, so that bit over, which I always like to tell people, because sometimes people do come to a webinar and think, we're going to learn the shortcuts and we're going to get the get-rich-quick stuff. Not with Jaana and I. I'm Dodsley, like I say, better known as the G Plus How To Girl, and I moved over to Google+, not at the beginning. I was a little bit slower. You'll find out in a minute that Jaana was much faster than me at getting on Google+, but I moved over there, had a bit of a look around, which a lot of people have done, and thought, it's just another social network, I haven't got time for this, and I disappeared again. And that may resonate with a lot of you who are here with us, because it's what a lot of us do, because there are so many platforms out there, and sometimes it is really hard to be able to be on all of them, and we get used to things, and we go somewhere new and think, this doesn't look quite the same, I don't know what to do here, and we disappear. And you know, I've done that myself. But when I really got excited was when Hangouts on Air came out, which is what we're sitting on today and how we're broadcasting to you, and I could really then see the benefit of Google+ and Google Hangouts for businesses, and I use it all the time. Once I got into Hangouts, which is where I started, I realized that I could not ignore Google+, because to use one bit and not the other, yes, it works, but when you put them together, my goodness me, have you got something pretty amazing. So that was how I got onto Google+, and I'm very proud to say last year I did so much research, I dove in so much into Google that I wrote a book that I am very, very proud of, because this became a top seller in its category within less than 24 hours. So that was something that was very, very good, and it has over 15 5-star reviews from some incredible business people as well. So that sort of kind of tells you I know my stuff. The other bit that tells you I know my stuff is if you look down here and you can see underneath Carol D, the G Plus How To Girl, it says Google Plus Top Contributor. In January of this year, I was invited before to join what they call the Rising Star program. That was last year, and in January of this year, I was invited by Google to become a top contributor, and I spend a lot of my time in the official Google Plus Help communities and actually helping users to solve their problems, answer their questions. So I'm also somebody who works very, very closely with Google and helps their users in the official Google Help community. And the reason I'm telling you this isn't just to brag. We're telling you this so that you know that I am somebody who knows what I'm talking about. I'm not somebody who has done, which unfortunately a lot of people do, I haven't jumped onto Google Plus, spent 3 or 4 days looking around, learning how to press a few buttons, and then gone, now I can teach this to everybody else. I've spent an awful lot of time there, and my time and my skills and knowledge has been recognized by Google as well, by them inviting me to be a Google Plus top contributor. My profits in my business have doubled year on year since I started to use Google Plus as well. So that's something else that we're going to be sharing with you, how to really make it work for you. So now I'm going to go across and show you who is here with me, and let this brilliant lady who started on Google Plus before me, and she's got a really great story to tell you of how successful she has been, come and say hello to you. So Jaana, come and say hello.
Hi everybody. I'm celebrating already. Google Plus will be 3 years next Saturday. So I'm celebrating because I am a first generation user. I actually got in within 24 hours of the start of the beta test. So woohoo! Happy birthday, Google Plus. Okay, back to normal. Yeah, my name is Jaana Nystrom, which may be a mouthful for many English-speaking people. The first name is Jaana, so if you yawn, you remember how boring I am and what my name is. I'm from Finland, and I have been working in the travel trade for 23 years, so I have a long background in business, working in a travel agency, creating content for the website, taking photos, traveling around the world, doing videos about destinations and hotels and everything. So I wasn't very active on any social media platform before June 2011. I dabbled a bit in Facebook. I shared my scuba diving, golf, and golf, not scuba diving golf, but scuba and golf pictures on Facebook, and dabbled a bit in Twitter. I think I started 2010 in Twitter, but it wasn't really nothing special. But then came Google Plus, and I was just bowled over. It was such a great experience. I immediately saw, even in those raw beta days, I saw the potential this platform really has for business people, for entrepreneurs, for solopreneurs, for people with smaller businesses who don't have millions of dollars or pounds or euros to put into marketing. And the whole thing has just grown so much, and with all the Google products integrating more tightly with Google Plus, like the blogger platform, YouTube, and of course Google Plus itself as a, well, there are no ads on Google Plus, as you well know, and which is a good thing, because every time I go to Facebook it really annoys me. But because when you have a business presence, an active business presence on Google Plus, then you will have much better chances of being seen on the first page of Google search. And that is something which all we business people, we love. And even paying big bucks won't guarantee the spot if you employ an SEO, search engine optimization company. They can help you a bit, but well, Google Plus has helped me, and it has done it for free if you don't count the hours I have put into it. Nothing comes for free. There is no such thing as a free lunch, but with your own work you can really make Google Plus work for you. Right, Carol?
Absolutely, you can. And something that you haven't told anybody yet, Jaana, is how many people do you have following you?
I have to check.
It's a big number.
It was 600 something, 636,000 at the moment.
And that is a big number, and that is a number that Jaana has got those people following her, not by playing silly circle shares and doing things where she's buying people's likes or whatever else and follows and things like that. Those are purely organic because of the work that Jaana has been doing. Jaana also didn't mention that she's a top contributor, and was a top contributor a long time before me, and in fact I believe that Jaana was one of the top contributors who actually recommended that I was invited to be a top contributor. So and that's how we've got to know each other, and we've come together to help you because we both have a lot of knowledge, and we were actually working on our own and then thought, hang on a minute, why don't we combine our knowledge, because we don't actually see competition out there. We see people helping people or not. And we were two ladies who were very passionate about it, also both from Europe rather than from America, because you'll find a lot of the people who teach Google Plus are from America, and we thought it was time to bring some ladies to the forefront to help you, and also some Europeans to the forefront to help out. So we actually got in touch with each other and said, let's do it together, because the two of us, Jaana has a lot more experience than I do on images and pictures, because Jaana's always taking pictures because of her background as well, and she's used to being out there taking pictures. I tend to be a non-picture person and forget that I have a camera in my pocket when I go anywhere, but I have other things that I specialize in a lot more and spend a lot more time on. So pulling us both together, we can actually give you double the value and double the information, and anything I don't know, you can guarantee Jaana knows it. Bits that Jaana doesn't know, she comes to me, and anything that either of us don't know, one of us will go, and Jaana specifically is an amazing lady at research. I'm a little bit, I like to press the buttons, try it out, get it working, and go with it. Jaana likes to spend hours really, really going even deeper, and is quite the perfectionist, because she's always telling me off if I miss out a hashtag or I miss out a title or something in my posts is not quite right. So it's a perfect combination, really. I'm more of the techie side than Jaana as well. So
yeah, I'm the proverbial non-techie blonde. But I like to do research, I like to understand things, and I get a lot of inspiration from the Google Plus help community when people ask questions. So there is a need to get some answers, and because I see perhaps the same questions daily or weekly, so I just dive in and I do the research, and I get the answers, and I prepare a post with the hashtag Jaana Research, and I share the link to that post, which has screenshots and everything, and later I put that post or the information on my blog, and so it's interesting because I can help people and I can learn more all the time about Google Plus. So I do like to dig in things, yes.
Yeah. And I go to Jaana because I don't like to dig as deeply, so it's absolutely perfect because I know that she's digging and I can stay on the top. And as you can also see, we like to have fun, because every business, no matter what you're doing, no matter what marketing or promotion you're doing, you need to have some fun as well. And Google Plus, I have found, has brought so much fun into my life. Partnering with Jaana has just exploded that fun as well, and as you could see when we first came on, Jaana had her party hat on and is absolutely full of fun. So another thing, if you prefer people who are always incredibly serious, you're in the wrong place. If you if you want to have fun and learn from two ladies who are out there walking their talk and actually doing this every single day, then you're in the right place. Now, we're not just going to be talking to you today. You've heard a little bit about my background. You've heard a little bit about Jaana's. Hopefully you feel comfortable that listening to us and what we're going to share with you is going to add value for you, and that you can, the things that we share, you will be able to take away and use them and get some results. We're going to be sharing some strategy and talking about, Jaana's already touched on that, about the fact of Google, using Google Plus for search engine optimization, for getting visibility. We're going to talk about some other parts of the strategy and why Google Plus. We're going to look at a couple of the things and the myths that are out there, the scaremongering and the silly bits, and we're going to completely squash those. And then Jaana's actually going to do some screen sharing with you. So you're not just going to see our faces all the way through this. Jaana's going to do some screen sharing and actually show you a personal profile and the bits that you really need to get right, the bits that you need to put in place to make sure that your profile is absolutely the right way optimized to help you get those results. Because quite often we see people who have come across, they've set up a quick profile, they're now trying to get the engagement and build their relationships and get found in search, and they've completely forgotten to put the foundations in place. And it's like building a house. If you build a house on sand, it's going to sink. If you build a presence on a platform online and you don't have the right foundations in place, it might not sink because there's nothing there to sink, but you won't see the same results. You won't see the same things happening for you. You will not increase your leads. You won't attract more clients, and which probably means you won't get any more profits. And it's all about that in business. It's not about the money, it's about the value you're adding, but it is about you need to make profits and you need to attract the right clients. By having a really strong foundation, that's what you'll be able to do. So Jaana's going to screen share and do that part with us, and then we're going to actually tell you how you can take the next steps, and we will then come over and see if there's any questions, and we will answer your questions. So if you have any questions, I told you at the beginning we have a 20 to 60 second time lag between what we say and what you see and hear. So if you have any questions, don't wait until we get to the part where we say ask your questions. If you have questions as we're going along, type them in. If they're relevant at the time, I will actually stop Jaana in her tracks and say, Jaana, stop screen sharing a minute, we've got a question. If not, we will hold them and we will come back to them. When we have finished, we will come back and answer the questions. So I hope that is okay for everybody. And it would be absolutely great, those of you that are watching, I can see that we do have people watching, because one of the great things when you're in a Hangout is you can see how many people are watching. We can see that you're watching. I don't know whether you're watching on the Google Plus event or whether you're watching on the website, because I don't have those stats in front of me. But wherever you're actually watching, do put a comment in and say hi. Let us know who you are. Let us know what you are here for, what you think you would like to get out of being here with us today, and where you're based in the country as well. So do put some comments in. I know not everybody will, because some people like to stay very, very quiet in the background. But if you're not one of those people that likes to stay quiet in the background, please do put a comment in and let us know your, well, we'll see your name, but let us know what you would like to learn. If there's any questions that you have, pop them in as we go along, and let us know where you're from as well, and I'll go over and have a look at those comments once we go back to Jaana and she starts the screen share. Now, before we start the screen share, Jaana touched on the fact of using Google Plus, you can get more visibility, and you might be thinking, well, how does that work? The way that works is everything you post on Google Plus that is a public post, so publicly available for anybody to see, it is indexed for search. So whether you are posting your own posts, whether you're commenting on other people's posts, or whether you're in a community or on an event page, everything that is public is indexed for search, which means that potentially any of your posts can be found in Google search. And what is great about that, because some people go to me, yeah, but there's nobody I know on Google Plus. It doesn't matter if your audience is not on Google Plus. It's great if they are, because they can engage, they can build relationships with you, they can get to know you, and you can get to know them. But if your audience isn't on Google Plus, that doesn't actually matter when you get started. You will meet loads of new people, and you probably will find your audience is on Google Plus. You just don't know they're there because you haven't been there looking for them. And it will be a new audience of people who are interested in what you do, because your current audience may be the ones that you say they're not on Google Plus. There are, I think, is it over 340 million? It might even be probably far more than that now on Google Plus.
500 million active users.
500 million active users. So I am sure that your target audience is actually there. You just will need to go and find them. But there will be a new audience.
And the average user of Google Plus is well educated, makes quite a lot of money, or is in a good job, 25 to 45 years old, with a lot of shopping power. So I would say dream customers for 90% of businesses.
And that is a really important thing to think about, because sometimes, and I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but sometimes on some of the other social sites, they are not your dream customers. They are actually people who want to have fun, who want to catch up with their friends. They're not always the buyers. Now, and you notice there, I am not saying other sites are rubbish for business. I'm saying sometimes and not always. But on Google Plus, the vast majority will be your ideal audience when you go and find them. The other thing is the fact that Google, and I'm not sure what it is right this second, but the last time I looked, they held 86.13% of the search market. And this is the bit that a lot of people, when I tell them, suddenly they go, oh, the light bulb has just come on. I was thinking my people have to be on Google Plus and I have to be talking to them on Google Plus for them to find me. But you don't, because where do people go when they are actually ready to buy, or when they are really looking for information? Yes, they may go on social and ask their friends, but one of the biggest places that they go to is Google search. So not Google Plus, they go to Google search. Google holds over 86% of the search market worldwide. So the fact that your activity on Google Plus, when it is public activity, is all indexed for search, guess who stands a great chance of their target audience, those people who are actually searching because they want to buy now? Who are they going to find? Potentially you. And that is a really, really key part of using Google Plus. The other part of Google Plus, and why I would advise people to use it and why I love it, is because I can log in with one login, and I can use my chat messaging, I can use my email, my calendar, Google Docs, I have Drive storage, absolutely everything is all one login, one password. And if you're anything like me, I am rubbish at remembering logins and passwords. So for me, I log into one place and I can do all of my business tasks. I can bring everything together. I can collaborate with my team members. I can hop onto a hangout and have a video call live with a client or a potential client. I can train using Google Hangouts and do my marketing and promotion on a live broadcast like Jaana and I are doing tonight. I can interact with people. I can build my communities, my public communities and my paid for communities. I can use my calendar, my inbox, and I can use it offline as well as online. A lot of the stuff that is available through other companies that you have to log into separately to get this toolbox that you have when you use Google and Google features and Google Plus, a lot of those you can only access them when you are online with an internet connection. With a lot of the Google tools and features, you can set them up to access them offline. So for me, if I'm traveling, I can be on a plane with no Wi-Fi and I can still be answering, reading and dealing with my emails. I can still be creating my documents, and when I get back to an internet connection, it all automatically syncs up for me and everything is back online and my emails get themselves sent out. But I can still work if my internet connection goes down. So I think that is another really big benefit of using Google Plus and the Google tools. So I'm just going to say hello to the people that have put a message in for us, Jaana. So Mary, hi. Mary is a social media coordinator for a website. She's in the US. Welcome from the US. And she's hoping for some tips on what smaller businesses can do to build communities around a topic or get more followers to engage on our posts. Emma, hi Emma. Emma actually is already a customer of ours and a very, very valued member of our communities. Emma is in London and loves to hear what two G Plus ladies share. Ursula, I hope I've said that right, Ursula Street, or Streit, is from Germany and wants to learn and have fun. So welcome. So that's we have 3 ladies that have actually, see, the ladies sometimes are a bit faster than the guys. They've already put their comments in. I'm going to go over and see if anybody has put anything into the extra chat box on the website, because we have several chat boxes. So, and I've got them all open here so that I can see what people are saying. No, nobody's over there. I think most people are actually on the Google Plus page. So I've done a lot of talking there. Hopefully that has given you some real sort of, yeah, maybe I need to think about this a little bit more, and yeah, that actually is going to add real value for my business. And I think Jaana is about ready for us. I'm going to go over and let Jaana do some screen sharing for a little while now and talk to you about how you can build some rock solid foundations for your house so that you are not going to sink. Are you ready for us, Jaana?
Yep, I'm ready and screen sharing already. So let's take a quick look at your personal profile, and then let's take a quick look at a business profile and what are the important things. I am in my About tab on my own profile. Okay, so and this is a glitch, a very common glitch that sometimes the people who are in your circles or who have you in circles, they don't show up, but you just need to refresh the browser and voila, here they are. Okay, and then we have the story, which is really important bit. I'll come back to that. And we have the work and employment, and you can put schools and whatever you want to put here. And because I have something here which I don't want to share with the world, I will look at my own profile as the public sees it. Okay. The football, the I/O, and everything are making my Wi-Fi a bit slow today. All right, so now I'm viewing my own profile as public, as anybody can see it. Okay, so in my circles and who I have in my circles are there, and then the story, and then the work, places where you have lived. I used to work in the travel trade. I used to work as a tour guide. So I have been living in quite a lot of different countries in my youth. And then you have the links section. I have quite a lot of links, but I have been on Google Plus for so long time. It's good to take 15-20 minutes every now and then, go through, check all the links and see if they are actually still working, and maybe update some of the links, because even I have, well, I've been trying to go through these, but even I have, sometimes I have very old links which are not so current anymore. And then you have the apps here and the basic information, what you wish to present to the public. And on my education box, I have Google Plus Help as TC. And why is this? Because the education box shows here. This is where I work. This is my Finnish company, Gplus. I attend Google Plus Help as top contributor. And this box also shows up, this information also shows up when people hover over your name on Google Plus, and you get the hover card, pop-up hover card, and this is why it says here Google Plus Help as top contributor. That is more important than where I went to school in the year of the sword and the shield, which is a long time ago. Okay, so let's take a look at the story. Why is this box so very important? Each and every word you write in your story box is a key word. All the sentences you write are used by Google in their search for semantic search. So write about your interests, write about what is what do you like? What is your business? Also, if you are like me, solopreneur, I work alone for my own business. So of course I link my blog and my web mag and all those important links. I link to the story, and I tell a bit more about myself. And because I am Finnish, the first part is in English and my second part is in Finnish. And then you see I have used hearts and stuff here to sort of categorize the different areas. And you can just, there are lots of sites where you can. Let me just check. I'll show you one which is quite good. For instance, Facebook symbols, which can be fssymbols.com, which can be used everywhere on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google+. So you just click and you copy one. So you can use those on your posts, but don't overdo it. Because if you start using a lot of different characters in the posts, at least they don't look very professional. Do you have anything to say about or ask Carol about the story part before I go to the links?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the things with the story, and we're still looking at your screen share here, I noticed that you've done what I've done. You've actually told people what circles would be right for you. On mine, I tell people the type of people that I will circle and why, and also which circles I would fit in well. And one of the things about that I think is really, really important and really key is you're actually helping people to understand who you are better. You're telling people who you would like to engage with. When you say, these are the people that I look to circle, you're actually attracting your ideal clients as well as people that you want to get to know and like-minded people. So by being specific on that and by saying to people, these are the circles that I belong in, you're actually telling them the kind of stuff that you will be sharing. So exactly. It's, some people go, well, that's a bit of a strange thing. It's actually a really powerful thing to add to your story.
Yeah, because this is the best and the easiest way to tell people who I am. And I can say it now already that, for instance, from a business page, when you share posts, Guy Kawasaki told me once that you should only share from 5 to 20% so-called ads as posts from your business page, and the rest should be something related to your business. Maybe blogs, maybe photos, maybe something. But if you just post ads or your own blog posts, people don't like it. They get bored. They uncircle you. Try to post about as many things as possible, as many things that interest you and which you may think that interest your audience. But it's easier to find an audience when you are being yourself. When you are being yourself, when you are sharing the stuff you love, people relate to that and they can see that you are a genuine article. And don't try to post and share stuff that you think somebody may like, because that is just fake. When you are yourself, when you post about the things you like, when you post about the stuff your company makes or sells, and try to do it in a rich way, like approaching from many different angles to your business, for instance. So then people, they really are looking forward to your posts, and they like to follow your page, and they share your stuff. But nobody will share ads. Well, not on Google+. It's a bit different on Facebook, maybe, but the people here are are somewhat different.
I think
what do you say, Carol?
Yeah, that is a really important thing that Jaana's just shared there. I'm just going to take you off the screen for a moment. I'll put myself on as I'm chatting away. It is about being a person, and this is something, there is a change happening out there. And the change is people are getting fed up of people pushing their stuff and trying to sell to them. People don't want to be sold to. People will buy when they are ready to buy. And if they like you, if they have a relationship with you and feel a rapport with you, when they are ready to buy whatever it is that you offer, you are going to be the person that comes up in their mind first and foremost, before all of the people who are doing nothing. And when Jaana says posting their ads, they're not adverts as in official adverts, but what she means is they are pushing out sales posts and saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You know, they're advertising, this is what I've got for sale. When you do that, people are turned off because it's like, but I don't want to buy anything, I'm not interested. When you share what your business does, and when I tend to have a couple of rules when I'm posting, I think, is this helpful? Is this relevant both to my business and to my target audience and my customers? And will this add value? Because those are the things that for me are important, because if I'm being helpful, if I'm sharing relevant information, whether it is my own or somebody else's, and if I am adding value for my audience, when they want what I offer for sale, I am going to be the person that they're going to think, that Carol Dodsley, that G Plus how-to girl, she shares some great stuff. She obviously has a lot of knowledge. She brings other people's stuff in. She's not scared to share other people's stuff, so she's not being selfish. She is obviously an open and helpful person. She's added a lot of value. I've learned so much from her, but I need some help about this. She's the one I'm going to go and learn from. And that's how it works for you as well. Back to Jaana.
Okay, let's take a look at the links section. So here you have the Google Plus URL. If you have claimed your vanity URL, I won't say custom because it's not actually custom. It's on a personal profile, it's based on your name. And if there are 100,000 people with the same name, you have to add some characters to the end. And the same goes to businesses. If you have a website and you link it correctly to your Google Plus page, you will get a custom or vanity URL like your website is. For instance, my Finnish page, this is so large now because I was just, enlarging the screen. So if you have, like I have my Finnish Plus page, and my URL is gplussa.fi, so the vanity URL is Gplussa, it's the name. And with country URL, sometimes you have to have also the FI or COUK. .com is the only, what do you call it? TLD, Carol?
I think
the ending of the URL.
Yeah, I can't remember the name for it. Don't worry, we know what you mean.
TLD. I think it's TLD or something. Anyway, if you have the .com, that is the only one that won't show up on vanity URL for sure. So if you wish to get a certain vanity URL, choose your website name carefully, the URL, use .com, and then link your Google Plus page to your website, and you have a very good chance of getting the URL you wish. Okay. And then you have your YouTube, if you have that linked, and other profiles where Google also suggests Facebook, Flickr, all those, if you are using those. So you can just, add whatever you want here, your other social media platforms. And then you have contributor 2, and this is now only on a personal profile that we have 3 different sections for the links. And if you write a blog, that should go here. And you can see here there is current and then there is past. So if you are a contributor to something at the moment, if you are writing this blog now, use the current option. And if you used to write this blog at some time, like for instance, I have a travel story when I went to Taiwan, Palau, and Thailand, and I wrote a travel story using Blogger. So I don't add anything to it anymore. It's in my past. Okay, so English first, and then again I have put all the Finnish links. So if you or your business are not in an English-speaking country, this is quite a good tip for you to use also if you like to have, if you operate in 2 or more languages. So make sure that all your links and your information in those 2 languages are in one place, sort of, so that they're not all mixed up. Okay, Carol is asking, can you also talk about people's taglines and profile header images and why they are important? Okay, speeding up. So, and at the end, there are just, general links that you can use. Okay.
Can I just jump in there just to explain to some people? You'll notice that Jaana had, in those links, she had got blogs, but she'd also got links to specific ones. Those links are not just for your other accounts. Those are a place where if you have something that you really want people to be able to find, instead of sending them to the main page on your website or just one place, you can put in there whatever you want. So this is when it comes down to, although it's your personal profile, and it's very important to start with your personal profile on Google+, because that is how people get to know you as a person, but really use these link sections to give people as many opportunities to get to know you and your business as you can. Don't limit it just to your Facebook, your YouTube, and your Twitter account and your blog. Really think about what you're sharing there. What do you want people to see? Where do you want them to go? What will give them the most value, and what will give you the best results if people go to that specific place?
Exactly, yes. So the first one here, read about me. If people don't want to go through all my links, I have claimed jaananystrom.info as my link to About Me site, which tells all about me. It has all the links and everything. And it has also a call to action, engage my services, looking for a specialist to help your business out on Google+. And using photos, remember folks, using photos is a good thing. So here I have also a lot of stuff telling people about who I am. And this is something also that comes up quite well in the Google search. And all the links that you have here, they sort of build up, they build up your presence, your web presence. They build up your prestige. Because if you have a lot of links which are valid links and tell about yourself or tell about your business or link to an interview where you were interviewed or link to a YouTube video where you were interviewed, that sends a huge signal to Google search bots. And they think, well, the bots don't think, but anyway, you know what I mean. They think, this person must be something, because, you know, she has so many links and everything, and all the links are valid, go to valid websites or platforms. So that is something, and that is interesting, and that is important too. Okay. So taglines, do you mean this tagline here? Like I have Google plus TC helper and entrepreneur.
Yep, exactly, because a lot of people with the tagline, they will put something like don't like getting out of bed early, or some silly tagline, and don't realize how that actually is following them around and the importance of that tagline.
Oh yes, because this will also show up on the hover card. The pop-up hover card, when you mouse over somebody's name on Google Plus, you will see a pop-up hover card, and this tagline will also show up there. And when you do a search of a person on Google Plus, okay, let's make a quick search, and let's say we'll search now for business. Search for business. Oh, this is so huge now. And people and pages. Okay, the tagline doesn't show up here. It used to. But this is also important, the type of profile photo you have. The image that sort of is the first that the people see when you comment on something, when you search for something. So a smiley face is much nicer than a grumpy face. So you can see all the people smiling. Everybody's smiling except me. Well, I'm sort of smiling very. But you get the tagline. You get the tagline in many places, so it is important what you put here also. Anything else, Carol, about the personal profile?
Just the importance of, you just mentioned about your profile image and make it a smiley face, make it's the first thing people see. Something else, and I'll just take Jaana's screen share off for a couple of seconds, something else that is very, very important about your personal profile image is there is a thing called Google authorship, which is where you can basically verify that you are the content creator of the information on your blog or your website, and it links into Google Plus, and it's sort of linking together this website, this person is the author of the content, and you're verifying, and when you verify that on your Google Plus personal profile, you're actually building more trust, and you are more likely to have your posts and your information, the content you create online, displayed in Google search. Sometimes it will be displayed with an image, and that image is picked up from your personal profile. Google will only ever display that if that image is a clear headshot of you. If you have a headshot or a profile image that is very, very busy and has you and the kids and the dog and the background and the sunshine and the palm trees, and your face is not clearly displayed, you will never see your profile image displayed in Google search results. And it's really important that when they decide to share the image in Google search results, people are more attracted to an image than they are to a plain text search result. So if your image, even if it is halfway down on page 1, if all the ones above you have no pictures and yours has a picture, people are more likely to click through to your website, your business, than they are to somebody else's. So that profile image is really, really important, that it is a clear headshot of you, the person. The blue heads are a complete no-no, because that says to people, this person is lazy and can't be bothered. Do I really want to connect with a blue head who might not even be a real person? So always have a profile picture and make sure it's a very clear headshot.
Yeah, take a look at the screenshot share now. So I search, for instance, for Google Plus top contributor, and on the first page I'm the only one with my tiny photo here.
Yeah. And that instantly, people, when they see that page, they will go straight to Jaana's photo and click through there before they will click on the other posts.
Exactly. And it's a Google Plus post. See? You don't see Facebook posts on Google Big Search, but you see Google Plus posts quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Oh, Valenta's just said, Jaana looks small on her profile photo, contrary to others like Ifat, Jason Weiser and Guy Kawasaki. Yeah, she does, but it's a photo that people know. They know Jaana, and it's one that people really relate to. It's not so much about whether you are straight in somebody's face as whether or not your face is recognizable as a person, as you, not that nobody knows, is this the real person, or is it the one on the left, the one on the right? You know, my profile image is a headshot of me and I have my 2 dogs on it. And some people would say, why do you have your 2 dogs on it, Carol? I have the 2 dogs on it on my own profile picture because that sort of gives people a little bit of information about who I am, and they see the dogs and it's like, oh, look at the dogs. And quite often when you see a person with an animal or dogs, it tells people a little bit more about your personality and about who you are. And it happens just to be an image that so many people have recognized with me as well. So for me, you don't see this real close-up, just my face. You actually see me with my 2 dogs. So it's getting that mix right of who you really are, that you are clearly able to be seen, which Google obviously have decided that Jaana's profile picture is very clear because otherwise it wouldn't be displayed in search. But it's also feeling comfortable. You know, sometimes people don't feel comfortable being too close up, so you don't have to be right on top of it like the ones that you've actually sort of said there, Valente. It's a choice, but it just should be very close, very clear that it is you.
Yeah,
okay,
the face recognition system is really good. I used to have this as my profile picture for quite a long time, several years actually, and quite a lot of people complained when I changed it to the more business-like profile image, which I have now. So I used to be called the lady with the elephant, though I said, they mean that it's the lady like the elephant, but they are just being polite.
Okay, I'm looking at the time. I want to go across. I'm going to let you talk a little bit more, Jaana. Just tell people a little bit about engaging, because there was a few people who put questions in or comments earlier on that said they would like to know how to get more people to engage on their posts. Now, we're going to come back to questions, so we're not going to take a long time on this. I'm just going to nip over and see whether or not we have other questions. But actually, I'm looking at the time. What I'm going to do, because I know that some people may have to rush off, some people may have other things to go and do. So what I'm going to talk about very quickly first, before we go to those questions actually, is I told you at the beginning that we were going to share how you could take the next steps. And that's what I'm going to do with you right now. If you want to learn more about Google+, if you want to go into real detail, now we are going to come back to some questions, so don't think we're going to ignore those, we're coming back to those, but just if you want some ongoing help and support, if you want to really dive in and learn things in detail, if you want to have access to Jaana and I every single month live on a live hangout where we train on different things, you are invited to come and join us. And I'll see if I can screen share this. We have an invitation for you today, and it is a very special invitation. I might come to the screen share in a second. We actually have something that is a membership. It is called Gplus Professionals, which is why we have the logo Gplus Professionals. It is for entrepreneurs and business owners who don't want to spend hours and hours and hours every week going through some training to learn what they need to do. This is intended for people who want to spend an hour or so a month learning a topic, a tool, a feature, or a strategy that they can put into place and run with. It's not something where they want to spend 10, 20 hours going through a training course. This is an ongoing membership where every single month Jaana and I come live on a hangout and we spend a whole hour, sometimes 2 if we have a lot of questions and if it's a topic where people want to know more, because we don't say, right, the hour's up, we're off. We're here to help people. And it is called Gplus Professionals. It's a membership, and right now I'm actually going to screen share this so that you can see what I am talking about. Right at this moment, Gplus Professionals is available for the next 18 people And you can see there on the screen, hopefully it's displaying already on your screen, for the next 18 members who join us, you can join us for a whole year for $97. Now you might think, what? That must be pretty rubbish, because $97 for a year's worth, which means that you get a minimum of 10, because sometimes we take a holiday, but you may get 12 live hangouts with us. Over a year, that's like peanuts, $97. It won't stay $97. We were going to launch this at $297, and then we decided, no, let's just be a bit crazy, because it's Google Plus's 3rd birthday coming up, because we are launching this, because it's a new partnership with Jaana and I coming together with everybody. Let's have the first 25 and let's give them an amazing gift, $97 for the whole year of membership. It's only 18 members available now because we already have some. So this is our invitation to you. If you would like to come in and you would like to join us for a whole year and have monthly live events with us, you can do that right now for $97 if you are one of the next 18 to join us. What will also happen with this, if you join us right now, this is a subscription, so this will set up a subscription that at the end of the year you will be able to carry on with us. There's no risk because you can cancel any time. It's not something that you have a lot of difficulty and you can't get out of. It is done through PayPal, where you control whether or not you want to renew next year. If you do, though, this $97 is going to be locked in for you. So it's not $97 this year, and then next year you might pay $497 because we've put the pricing up. It is $97 for as long as you choose to stay a member, $97 a year for the next 18 people. Now I'm going to give you the link in a minute, so don't worry about that. You can go over to this page. It's a page that has been set up just for this webinar. It's not the main sales page. That will be set up differently and will have a much higher price on it. But this page, I'm going to give you the link to it in the event. I'm going to copy and paste that in. If you want to join us, now what else do you get? Well, that on its own, we had one lady who joined us last week who actually said to us, she joined us and we did one of our live monthly hangouts, and on the hangout she said, my goodness, I've just joined you and 24 hours later I have already received more than my $97 worth of training and value from you. So that was just in one of the training events that we held. So that's one of the things, you get those training events. You also, as a bonus for joining us, you get access to a Google Plus community where we are available anytime, well, unless we're asleep, but where we are available to answer your questions. So in between the monthly events that we hold, the live training, you can actually come into the community, you can network with other entrepreneurs, other business owners who are learning Google Plus and who are using it. You can also ask questions, and Jaana and I are in there answering your questions, and we are personally in there. So this isn't one of those where, you know, I have seen other programs where people say, oh, we've got a community and you can come in and ask questions, and then they never appear and they let their community help each other. We let the community help each other, but Jaana and I personally go in there to help you. Also, we will give you any updates. If updates come along and we're not about to do a live members training, we post the updates in the community for you. So that, you know, is entirely down to you, and if you don't want to join us, that is absolutely fine. But if you do want to take the next steps, if you would like to learn more and you would like to learn from Jaana and I, please do take advantage of this offer, because as you can see on the screen now, it's for the next 18 at this $97 a year, which works out at less than $10 a month. It's like, we must be crazy, and in fact we are crazy because we like being crazy. So I will post, I'm going to go back to Jaana now with the questions, but I'm going to post the link for you to come and join us into the comments in the community, in the Google Plus event. So if you would like to be one of the people that comes over and joins us, you can click that link and get one of those 18 places before the pricing goes up. So I'm going to go back over to Jaana, and Jaana, you are going to talk a little bit about, what was it I said we were going to talk about?
Well, engaging.
That's it, engaging. How do you get people to engage with you on Google Plus?
Okay. I'm on my English well, so-called business page, which doesn't make me any money or anything, but it has been a place where I have been posting about Google Plus and Google products and helping people too, and especially with the aid of my own community. I own a community with 15,800 members, Google Plus Helper community, and let's look at it. I already clicked this because this is a bit slow. And you can see created by Gplus Expertise, but also by my Finnish page. So you can have several owners in a community. And this is a great way for all the Finns who might not know me and sort of get lost on my Google Plus, my Gplus Expertise. They can see that I have also a Finnish page. Join communities. If you have a business page and you think you might have the time to create a community of your own, do it, because this is the best way. People can post in the community. They can ask questions. You can have 20 different categories with different topics so the people can ask questions, and I use these for general discussion, ask questions here, moderator messages, and then I have different topics for different Google+. You could do this if you have like different products that you sell. You could make a category for each product and engage. Don't just let the community take care of itself. Go and engage. Post about stuff. Answer questions. Help the people. You can't have competitions on Google+. That is against the TOS, but you can do so much more. And if you search for communities, you can search, let's say you want to find business communities which you would like to join. So just search for business and choose communities on Google+ search. The search on Google+ is so great. So you can choose. You can look how many members a community has. Of course, if it has 5 members, maybe it's not that good. And if you like, let's say if you are in travel trade, you can search for travel-related communities and join those. Or if you just like travel, you can still join those. Go and engage in those communities. For instance, I belong to travel bloggers community. I can share my photos. I can share my blog stuff. I can +1 share and comment on other people's posts. And that is something that you should not just push your stuff. You should interact with other people. That is really, really, really important. That you share other people's photos. You can share a Friday funny from somebody on Catterday or Saturday. You can share a cat post, or on Fido Friday you can share a dog post or something. Also, I would give a tip that people like if you sometimes post something that doesn't even have a link. You can post happy weekend, have a nice Sunday, or something like that. Or you can just post a rose for you, my dear Circleverse, like I've done here. A picture I took in my garden. So people like those 82 +1s. That's not bad for a rose, which is nothing special. I mean, taken with a compact camera and everything. But people like it when you share not just really, really businessy stuff, but something else too. And for instance, my topics are wide and varied. I post about the oceans and animals and Google, of course, and travel, and of course Google, quite a lot of Google stuff, because I also educate people, and being a TC, top contributor, I have a sort of duty to help people and try to share posts that are helpful to people. So yeah, I don't know. I'm talking. Carol, do you have something to say? Should I shut up? You know me, I can go on for 3, 4, 5 hours if you just let me.
Yeah, one thing I would like to add there to what you were saying about communities. Communities are really, really important, and Jaana was saying about sharing a variety of information. You know, let people get to know you, and it's not just about it must be a link or it must be an image. It can just be general things. One of the things I would say to people when you first start on Google+, back in the day when Jaana started, she was lucky because there weren't that many people on Google Plus and doing things. And Jaana's been able to really build her visibility and her presence because she got here so early. It is still early days, but it is no longer quite as fast to be able to build the relationships because there are a lot more people on here now. You know, mine has not yet reached 500,000. Mine is way behind that in engagement, but also don't worry too much about numbers. Numbers are not the be-all and end-all. Numbers are great and they give a great perception, but you can also build a very successful platform with very few people if they are active people and interested people. But the other thing that I would say that is very, very important if you want to get more engagement is go to give, go to listen, go to help. One of our members, Lee David Morris, he has actually just put a post up in our community this last week, and what he has been doing, and this is something that we strongly advise, he has actually been joining communities of people that are interested in the same thing he is interested in. And he has gone, when he started to do that, he didn't quite get it, and he went over and he joined a load of communities and he posted a load of his stuff. And he didn't get an awful lot of engagement and he didn't get an awful lot of people circling him. Then after we had done a little bit of training and we sort of exchanged some comments on his post about the communities he was joining and we'd given him some support and some ideas, David went back and started to put himself into communities. He was more particular about which ones he joined, but he also went into those communities to answer other people's questions and to comment on other people's posts. He stopped for a little while posting his stuff into the communities and made it that it was 90% sharing other people's information, talking to them and saying, wow, great post, adding his comments, which actually was adding his take and adding his experience to the community, answering people's questions, and also clicking the +1 button. So people started to see him as somebody that was interested in them first and foremost. Then they started to go and find out, who's this guy that's adding these great comments to our posts? People love it when you take notice of them. And that is a big thing and a big way to actually be able to add more engagement. If you go to give and you go into other communities, not your own, go into other people's, go and find those that are already there with active members in them and join the conversations. You'll find that will create more engagement, more people wanting to circle you, and that will also help you to take things out of those communities, and more people will come to your profile. And then when you have lots of engagement happening, that's when you set up your community and the people will follow you into your community. So Jaana, I know that you have another tip that you would like to share.
Yes. And this is something, well, it is Google+, but it's also, for instance, Facebook, because let's face it, quite a lot of us are in both places, me too. So here is my hobby page, Travel Pro Tips, and how to share a Google+ post to Facebook. We choose a post, we click on the timestamp, and we open the post in a new tab, like this. We have the post here, and I take the link from the top, I go to Facebook, where I have the same. I paste the link here. Wow, this is fascinating. And now I will clean up the link. I will delete the actual link, and the link stays here. And I post it, and voila, we have a nice post in Facebook with the Google Plus link. And when people click on this link, they come to my Google Plus page. So I am being very, very, very devious here. Did you get it?
That is not being devious. That is actually being very sensible.
And you can do the same in Pinterest and Twitter also. You can share the links like that, and you get nice photos, and you can sort of micro-blog on Google Plus and then share those on other platforms.
Yeah, excellent. And of course there is a lot more, but we don't have time because we are already almost 15 minutes over time, because Jaana and I could just carry on for hours and hours and hours.
My bad!
You can probably tell how passionate we are about giving you loads of information and really helping you, but we are going to cut it off. What I would say, those of you that are coming to join us, welcome to Gplus Professionals, welcome to our membership. We are really excited and really looking forward to working with you and having you in our community and on our private live events. For those of you that are not joining us, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you would like to know when we are doing more live public broadcasts and sharing information, please, in the comments, whether you're on the website or whether you're on the Google Plus event, put a comment in and say, yes, please add me to your invite circle, because we have a permission-based circle where we have people that have said, please email me when you are running another event, because I might miss it if you don't. And if you would like to be in that private invite circle so that we can let you know when we are running another live public broadcast, put a comment into the page, into the event, or on the website, and let us know, and we will add you to that circle so that you will get invitations to more public events that we are running. And those of you that have joined us in the Gplus Professionals membership, we are going to be seeing you very, very soon, and really look forward to welcoming you to the community. So, Jaana, any last minute things you want to say before we click the stop broadcast button?
I'm sorry I was so long-winded again, but you have to get used to it when you join the club, so to say. I just want to share what's in here, what I have learned in these 3 years of Google Plus use, and I just want to share everything with you and make sure that you have the best possible knowledge and information to succeed on Google Plus. So you'll be hearing a lot more from me.
Cool. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to circle back. We're going to be going back and having a look to see if any comments come in after we go off air, and if there are, we will be answering the comments. If there's any questions in there, we will go back and have a look. Jaana's already put a couple of links to more information for those of you that would like to get more information. I've put the link in for you to come and join us in the membership, and remember, at that price there is only 18, and that is not a scarcity tactic. We are not going to suddenly come back in 3 weeks' time and go, oh, and by the way, for the next 18 members and for the next 19 members, that is a true figure, because as you probably can understand and agree, $97 for a year really is a bit of a silly thing to do for anybody, but we are crazy ladies. We do want to help, but we do have to limit it. So when those 18 have gone, that price will go, and it will go up in price. If you'd like to join us at that price, come and join us right now, and we'll see you again very soon.